Had a good time. Went and saw a couple of people, weight boogie board, and it was cool. So, she got one. Went out in the ocean. Yeah, had a great time. Got something to eat again, and went to a amusement park. The other people met us again. We had a good time. We won some prizes, rode some rides together. It was just amazing. And, it was just like that for a couple of days. Came back and realized like I made another thing happen. And then I sat on my birthday, just here, cleaned up my house, and that was it. And it was really a reflective moment where I'm like, I know I'm grown now. Everybody treated me so nice. I felt like I was respected. Everybody felt I was hanging out with these like people that I would have never saw in a grocery store because they're from Kentucky. He gave me his information. I gave him mine. He gave my daughter some crabs that we're about to get a aquarium for. She's excited. You know, she said, Daddy, this was the greatest time ever. And that was my gift to me, to treat her like a princess and have her have a great experience. It would have been more, that was more pleasurable than stressing about making it across seas and back with my daughter. So we just went where it was amazing. And I still know the guy. He sent me pictures that I didn't know. I sent him pictures. They're actually closer to me now. Like, I could possibly see them somewhere else because I was in Knoxville and they know where that is, and they're around that area. So it's crazy the way things work out, and I saw that this weekend. I got to just have a road trip with my daughter, like just really driving around the coast. And we've been other places, and I showed my mom. My mom know where we were, and they talked, and my daughter was explaining oceanography things to me that she, learned on the internet. It was dope. It was really, I really got to reflect and see her play with other people and be older. And, when she was young, when she went to the beach the first time, I thought she remembered it, but she didn't remember it. And I was like, it was like the first time she ever been to the beach. And I was like, but you were there before. And she told me, I don't remember it, but she remembers it from seeing shows from back in a couple years ago. I think she was 3 or 2. So she didn't remember it. I was like, okay. She was scared to go out there. So we went out there, like probably 100 feet, you know what I'm saying? And she really like got on the boogie board and saw it was not easy to be out there. But she got it together and she rode in. And I got to film it. It blew my mind. So, we both, and I always tell her every birthday, hey, it's my birthday today, because kids don't think of this. They're so esoteric. They're so histrionic. They only think about themselves. So you have to remind them and say, hey, it's my birthday today. She goes, oh, happy birthday. I wish I could get you something. I always tell her, it's like a script almost. I tell her, don't worry, my gift is you. And she goes, oh. Boom. And that is to myself. And I get to this point and reflect and wonder if I did what I told myself I wanted to do as a young person. And I think that I'm actually one of not rare as in it makes me exceptional, but like who actually, some people just, it ain't their fault that they don't get it together to do exactly what they want to do. And have it be a possibility. That's hope in people. Like that's on an existential level. But I study that stuff kind of now, and like everybody got to understand they lucky no matter where they at because they here, and that's the basis of like people's drive and all that stuff. And I see people on the internet who have these like these forums and these like platforms where that's what they talk about, like self-improvement, things like that, and like spirituality and atheism and all kinds of stuff. And like, I think people get it twisted with me when the stuff I post about like atheism. So I know they're bold statements that make people think about it, but it's not like what most people don't understand what atheism is, who are spiritual. If you're any kind of spiritual, you can't understand atheism, or you pretend that you don't. And it's really the most objective way of looking at everything, but still understanding morality and altruism and being nice to people and understanding the bigger picture and your consciousness and your existence. You gotta understand, like, existence, like Rene Descartes, like these books that I read and post and y'all ignore. Read this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll help you understand that nothing really matters. And when you understand that you can just get it out of your way and be clear. People call it clear. All these spiritual systems and Christianity and existentialism and humanism and all these different other things and apathism and nihilism and all these ways of thinking are all universal for everything. It's just different points of consciousness. And it's explained by solipsism. It's one of the chapters in one of my books. My shit is deep. KLPC Holdings, this art and shows and books and music and all this stuff I've been doing for 15 years as a hobby. I can finally use it as the basis to really become a scientist and own my own laboratory and health and art institute. To be Dr. Coble and do that. That right there is the goal. And that's what I wanted to be since I've been a kid. I want to be a doctor, or at least be addressed as such, because I know how to make things work. And I realize now that it's just about having papers and certification to call you a certain thing so you can get certain opportunities to create things in society. And that's what education does. That's the basis. That's kinetic science. That you become proficient in something and people know you for it. You become a doctor and people give you all the access. And I see that's what I need to build my own laboratory and science institute and STEM research place, where we also do art and yoga and spiritual stuff and religious and theological discourse, and political awareness and financial literacy and things like. It's very easy. These charter schools that used to be around Charlotte, I interviewed these people. Dr. Sundiata, you know what I'm saying, from up the way right here. I can't remember the name of the school, like summer. I went to the place and saw Dr. Small speak. And it was a militant black place. They were the MC was talking about how them C words ain't coming up in here. When they marched the kids in, they all had guns, and it was just like sitting there. It was like a Black Power meeting, and Dr. Smalls came out and started talking. You don't know who Dr. Smalls is? Look him up. His daughter was the last one that was with Tupac before he got killed. That was his wife. That's his daughter. But Dr. Smalls and all the hidden colors and stuff. So I see that you can get the building and everything, have a school. It used to be charter schools, but now since the budget is cut, you need capital to just lease the building, and then you can just do what you want to do because ain't no rules with what you can teach. So it becomes a clear licensed place, and also the theme of it is just world art, global art. Different art, building products out of your art. That if that's filming you doing yoga and broadcasting it at public access. I got the keys. You don't sell product. That's what you got to teach people. Don't sell the product. Don't sell your thing as a product. Sell people the knowledge of how to build it for themselves. Teach them the game. And it's about teaching them, but that's all it takes for it to be something in the Department of Education now. Is just an ideology, just anything. Like, they get to preach their stupid stuff on their level that goes with that administration, but we also can use that opportunity to create a building into a laboratory rather than going through all this licensing. They want to cut all the regulations. Take advantage of that, but make it ethical so when the rules come back, you still get to keep moving with that project. That's anything. Record labels, chicken spots, mom and pop businesses. They can come play. You can. I'm on vacation, but their engineers be calling. But so all right. Where was I in that story? I'm trying to think. I guess I can run off on a tangent on this, but with that's why you got to be politically aware. That has to be part of the education. And I don't want to start a school. I want to just do a medical. That's my avenue. STEM. That's part of STEM. Science. And learning how to market things. You have to learn how to market your skills. And we hear that in those people with platforms like the Goggins, not really them, like the Grant Cardone, all those people that get on there, the Gary Vee, the white guys who act like they're teaching these people who are nerds and shut-ins about empowerment. And it looks corny because you see their audience. But if you know a person who can actually implement what they said on a higher level, it's actually good information. Grant Cardone is about like being on the edge of financial mortgage fraud. But it's still legal. But it's other BS in it. But when I watch this stuff to critique it, because I like to clown it, because I'm more like the David Goggins kind of stuff, or the Jocko, or stuff like that. Not, please don't associate, because I said Jocko with Rogan. I don't like Rogan. Rogan is a black belt and all that, and I respect him for that, but he's a buster. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. He is. But that Trump shit, I'm like, bro, when he platformed Trump right before the election, I was like, because he always played with it. People don't understand. You might assume that you knew that he was about Trump, but he never was for him. I always knew that, and everybody like, oh, well, he was on Trump. Like, to some people that's in that community, now I see that macho red pill white boy stuff is what won him the election. And I've been going. Remember, I haven't been on it since 2008, because that's when it really started. But it's another conversation. But watching that for these many years, and then getting to this point, and I'm starting to realize, because I'm doing so well, that when I go out into these places that aren't like Charlotte or big cities, and they're like these white people places where it's lots of white people who are just little blobs of vanilla pudding. Like, they're everywhere. I mean, on the beach, it's crazy. It was so many incidents of people just like doing stereotypically white nervous things with me the whole time. And the only people that shined through was a couple that I hung out with the whole time, because they were so warm that it was just cool. This dude was cool as hell. His name was Brandon. I be at one of the most high fucking with me, because as soon as he said it, I was like, man, bro, what's your name? Because I didn't speak to him the first day I met him, but our kids were playing together. So, because we just came down there and sat there on the beach, because we had been there the night before. And she was running on the beach in a dress. And when we left, I was just like, hey, I just waved to him, because our kids played for 2 hours until the sun went down on the beach. It was amazing. And I just sat there and just decompressed. I've been driving all day. I didn't want to talk to nobody and make obligations. I wanted to relax. And we had to go to this dirty, Alexa, turn down the volume of the music. You can't speak over Ghostface, man. He would have drowned me out. But Alexa, turn down the volume. There we go. But we left and came back that morning, and came back that afternoon the next day, and we were ready to just get in the water. And they just came over and chilled. You know, they came over. The little girl came over and started talking, and we were just hanging out. And when when she went out to the break, and we saw, like, I could feel everybody watching us, because the beach was semi-crowded. It was amazing because everybody's spaced out and people running around. There's so many kids, and people are just in the waves because the waves are just crashing. It's knocking people over, and they just having a ball. It was crazy. So we out there, and we looking, just looking around, and people are coming up to me and saying things. And when we was out there for like 20 minutes, like, I didn't have no electronics, and we weren't recording or anything. And we playing, and I'm walking back because I'm about to set it up so I could at least be out there playing, and we recording it, and later on I could edit it and find us and all that. And I was walking back, and these white boys was like these mischievous 20-somethings, early 20-somethings. And it's like a lot of them, because when I walk up, I can always, if I see somebody approach me, I'm like, who are they? Who else are they with? And I could see that's what his group was like. There's like 5 or 6 of them. And they're laughing, and they're having a good time like everybody else. So the dude, he sees me like with my daughter walking back, you know what I'm saying? I was walking without her. And she was still out there. Cause I could just see her. I had to go get our stuff and set up the camera. So the dude approached me, and I felt him coming over, and I was like, oh, I turned to him and looked him dead in the face, because he was my height, but he was young. And I was like, he was like, hey, we was wondering, could you settle an argument for us? And I was like, and I was trekking, because shells cut my feet. I'm like walking, and he's like, I'm looking up him dead in the face, dead in the eye. Just like, and I was already looking at him, but then I like locked in on him. I was like, no. And I scowled at him, and he was like, so you mean, and I just kept walking. And then you could hear him like mumbling to his friends, and his friends were like, oh, blah, 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 because he was going to try, I don't know, they probably filming me and going to do something. Because they saw me, I had my shirt off, and I'm 184 pounds, 6'2", ripped, like an MMA fighter in a weight cut. My tat, I was browned out. I was, the biggest thing on the beach, and cut with gray hair, like I'm coming out of the ocean like Poseidon. So, that he was bold enough, so it had to be worth it to approach me. I look like I'm an MMA fighter. Like, I look like I'm a soldier about to, like, for real, bro. So he was trying to embarrass me. I was like, okay. I was like, what am I going to say to him? Because I don't want to be bothered. But I'm not going to, I know what's up. Because teenagers or people that's young like that approach me weird like that all the time. In that situation, like when I go to the pool, everything. Because just, it's a reality. I'm ripped. I'm 50. I'm almost 50. But I'm ripped because I take care of myself. And I still do. So that goes down. And I know that he probably like, yo, that'd be great to get him on tape. No, you ain't doing nothing. And I think they saw that I approached without my daughter, so he decided to do it. So I was like, yeah, because if you approach me when I'm with my daughter, I might just, they ain't stupid. But nothing else. It wasn't like a menacing thing. It was just like I embarrassed him. He tried, and I could hear his friends as I'm walking off, because remember it's loud, and they're like, ooh, oh, and then and when I came back, I didn't notice them again. They didn't leave. I just don't remember them. I was in there doing my thing. But then we go in, and me and my daughter are like sitting in the waves, letting them hit us and rolling, and we're just freaking having a ball for a long time. And we got out, and it was like people here, because it was a lot of like where we were. It was a lot of black people. It was just like a lot of girls that were like teenagers, and then like their little brothers and sisters, and they were like a family, and you could see their family like somewhere, and they just some people grilling out and just chilling, and we like right there, and our kids are playing together, and it's just people just the waves are just killing people. It's so funny, and people just taking it. So we around, and when I'm playing with her, I could feel like kids coming close to her, like that's her age, and then she acknowledged them, they acknowledged her, they start scooping, and it's just that, and I'm like, oh, okay, and I'm just trying to sit in the waves and float and let them, and these girls start moving over to them. They're teenagers. I could tell they were, they're probably like early 20s. To me, they all are like babies, unless they got some crow's feet. Like, y'all all babies, because I'm old. So I see these girls, and they're like in the waves, but she's like, they're trying to get this picture, because I could see her friend, she's filming her, and they're really pretty young girls. You know what I'm saying? They're a Mexican girl and a black girl, and they got lashes on. I'm wondering how they staying on, because the waves is hitting them, and they must have did it for they were. It's something like you could tell they were trying to get a shot, and I was like there, and they were. I got my daughter's iPad. I'm trying not to drop it in the and get it on her iPad so she can send it to her friends on Facebook, on FaceTime. And they're like, when I'm trying to film her, KK, she's trying to give me my shot. You can tell because she's rolling across and she sees me with a big old eye. It's not discreet. I'm just like, I'm trying to film around her, and she can tell that she's moving in my shot. And I'm just like trying not to drop the thing, and she's just. It was just a great moment. It was funny, and I gotta see it because it's on her iPad. But we got it. So I finally got what I needed, and I went and I put it up because you got to make sure they ain't covered in the sand. I had a technique, and then I come back. And, we in the break, me and my daughter in the break where the wave hitting, and it's hitting us. I'm just telling her to be brave. It's going to happen, and turn your back. You don't know what's coming. And she would look, and when she would look, it'd be a wave like way over her head. She'd be like, no! I'm like, don't get up and run. Just let it happen. And it'll always miss us because we're sitting exactly out of the break, and she can't take it. And people were just doing the same thing we were doing. It was so cool. It was fun. And these girls kept getting in our way. Like, she kept like getting close to me and rolling, and it reminded me of the Jay-Z video with Beyonce, Drunk in Love. But she was doing it really corny, and she had these huge lashes, and she had a weave, and it wasn't moving. I'm like, I don't know what it was. It was like her hair was going around, but it was just stuck to her head, and you could tell it was fake. But they were having a ball. It was funny though, and so we stopped. Cause I was like, "Hey, baby, let's get out." Me and my daughter got out, and we walked by him, and she was running up to the things that we had up there, like it was a blanket, and she took her boogie board. And as I'm walking, because I'm walking slow, the girl stops me. The Mexican girl stops me, and she's like, "Hey, Mister, Sir," and I try to ignore her, and she keeps yelling like, "Sir, Mister." I'm thinking, oh, is something wrong? So I say, "Yes. Hey, how you doing?" She was like, could you go out there and save her for me, please?" And she had her phone in her hand. I'm like, I ain't trying to drown. And just walked off on her, you know what I'm saying? And she was just like, like, that's what they do. Y'all gotta be aware of that. These young people, when you're in public, especially when you out and you chilling, everybody having a good time, they really want you to be a part of their content. They're not trying to embarrass you. They're probably not pranking you. They want a moment on their phone that they caught that was genuine that no one has, because that's the way they think. Because I knew that all these kids, that's the way they interact with adults, is to get them in Target it happens to me. They're like, sir, can I go in front of you, please? And like a little pretty young girl, like 17. And I'd be like, I'll look around. No. And I always like scowl and do that on them, and then go back to being Mr. And okay. I'm like, I know there's a camera around. Like, nobody just does that. No young person comes to an older person and just does that. Something casual. Like, I'm like, that's because they want me in their shot because I'm always in public, presentable and good looking, and I look my age. I ain't trying to look like them. I look like a dinosaur to them. Like, this dude right here is dressing sensibly. Where's his, I don't know what they call it now, swag? I don't know. Like, no, I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you love what it is young people, they see my shoes a lot of times. They see the Nikes and stuff I wear. I wear like Air Force Ones. That's what I do. I don't really go. That's a dress up shoe almost to me, especially if it's something fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got a couple, like my new pairs. Like, I ain't even put it online yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Like, I wore them one time to see my ex-wife, and I didn't know her boyfriend was going to be there. I was picking up my daughter at the mall, and I showed up just tank top, regular shorts, and then I had these snake skin Air Force lows. I can't even explain the red. It's not even. It's not even magenta. I can't even explain the color of the check, and it's snake skin, and it don't look crazy. But it do look crazy. But match the shorts, match the Target shorts, bam, and people every day they like, yo, where you get shoes from? I love that. I like that I'm the shoe person. Socially, I don't know, but 48 years old, doing it my way. I guess I can sum it all up with a quote from Common. And I mean, by sum it up, I mean, for myself personally, this is just me. Maybe it's just a message to me. The lesson that I learned collectively at 48, reaching 48. I wish they just knew that God was just teaching. I think it's a deep, powerful half a bar. Man, you have to look up the song for that on your own. But because that's what I feel. I guess that sums up my spirituality, my social, my morality, my social acuity, my stratification in the levels in America when it comes to being a professional and my education and things like that. Understand that I'm approaching the 1%, but the possibility of doing that by a plan that I put together, a lot of people act like they did it from the bottom to the top. Nobody who has never been poor can say they did that. That's why people laugh and scoff at what's going on politically now. Because how somebody that's always had a silver spoon gonna care about people people like that ain't never been to the grocery store, don't know what that's what the cost of egg thing is, an irony. Like, you really think any politician knew the price of egg? Because I don't. That's why I didn't notice they went up, and I don't care. They're eggs, and I eat a lot of eggs. But it's a dumb political point that those knuckle draggers, he gonna be good for the economy because he understands eggs. All right. Never, but that's why you need to know about your Social Security and your government benefits and the fact that the government should take care of you. Yep, I said it. A person who don't need it. I'm a person who don't need it. And don't I've used certain parts of it at times. I've never been on public health care or welfare or anything like that. But I've received um, food stamps at times that I didn't have a freaking job. Yeah, and I got like $13 a week. It was nothing. It was just something to say, boom, I can get $13 worth of eggs once a week. And I went to people went through that, and I feel for people who got a kid and got to go through that. That's part of my reflection being 48 now. I feel for people now. I hate it when I don't understand people who go from not having nothing to successful and act like they don't remember that, like how that felt. I remember that desperation. I remember being 40, in my 30s with my degree and a job that seemed like it should be a good job and struggling every week, every day, scared it's gonna fall apart. That something gonna happen where you're gonna lose your job and you're already behind in your car payment. I remember that feeling. That's crazy. And people going through it now. And I'm very cautious about the way I approach people who appear to not have it together. Or people who appear like just everybody. Because you don't know, like I know that having that feeling where you know you right about to be able to break through and have some kind of like financial solvency that's sustained and not just fleeting, like a tax return or something like that. Something that you know is gonna come, and you have to use bases of the government to do that. I did that through the Military Veterans Administration. A lot of people are very sketchy about revealing it about themselves, like they're ashamed of it. And I would be ashamed of being a 100% disabled veteran if that's all I was. If it's something supplemental, something that's there to help you as a veteran because you had legitimate disabilities, because you went into the service, you put in your life on line meant that after you get out, you survive it, they should take care of you because your body's going to break down later on. Or in different parts. It's not even everything you think. It ain't about getting your arm blown off or anything like that. It's just about you going in and now you got problems because they worked you in a freaking the desert heat for months and parts of a tent fell on you. And I ain't talking about a tent like y'all do and go in the woods with little bendy straws that you can. No, I'm talking about real, the roof, everything of a real tent that you can put up in an hour with 6 people. And it pinch points where if you don't wear gloves, you'll lose your finger. Like, and y'all have to do that in unison to make sure nobody don't make no mistakes. And everybody can do it. And you're in the desert, 120 degrees, and you're in BDUs. When you do stuff like that, and then have to worry about the air around you because they're burning oil, you know what I'm saying? And they got sewage right open, like sewage that's what a bathroom is in the field, right there, fermenting in the sun, and you got to breathe all this stuff in as you work every day. And everything you do is around that environment with dust going in you. So when you get out, they can monitor that. They can find out if you get cancer for no reason because you was in a place where, you're sitting on top of an oil reserve. So it happens. And there's a lot of veterans I see now that I'm doing advocacy that are ashamed of, it's like they're ashamed to say that they were, that something happened to them. Like, no, I'm the biggest, I am a, like, you could put a picture of me in on the side of a definition of a veteran in the Webster Dictionary. Because my real background with the military and all that, I know what I'm talking about. I'm certified OG, and I'm talking to a lot of older veterans now, even older than me, that didn't access anything their whole life and struggled their whole life, got things and problems, and then realized all they had to do was call the VA and give them my social security number. That was it. VA.gov. That's it. I'm talking, and this is post, because I got mine because mine started when I first got out. Like, they told me to do it. I didn't know there was even a possibility. Like, go to this appointment, and it was part of the out processing thing. You just go to TAPS, and they put your thing in. You go to the DAV. They pull your records. You say yes, and then they got back to me. They've been on my ass since then. A lot of people are like, oh, some veterans deserve this. No, we all deserve it. Everybody who got it deserve it, and there's a lot of benefits that they don't tell you about, and that's why, because it's a lot. So now I tell these people, these older people, a lot of them Republicans or former Republicans, and I'm finding out they veterans, and I'm guiding them through, and they telling me medically people, it makes me understand, medically people, they're getting their ass whooped with health care. Like, all that, I'm talking about, people forget about pharmacy, imaging, primary care. Y'all think about healthcare as just going to a doctor. You sit on a table and then they tell you what's wrong with you or whatever. No. A lot of times it's little stuff they find that you don't even think about, and then you be like, let's watch that. And then you would have never known, and then you would have continued to do something and drink and doing something. That's the whole reason I gave up alcohol, like 100%. Because you don't need it after a while when you don't have it, and it changes your whole mind, your whole body. Like, that's how I could be 184 at 48, almost effortless. Work out twice a week, like, and most of it's yoga. Like, not even deep intention. It's like if you tell your body to be skinny and don't have anything messing with it, like alcohol or a lot of fat or a lot of fast food, the world is super easy. It's on easy mode whenever you don't have that. I mean, I know people still do the caffeine, and they might do the trees, and they might do something like, but cutting alcohol out your life, I mean, it's not even hard. You don't even think about it. Like, we went to eat this morning, we went to eat on vacation, and I'm with my daughter, and they're having, like, it's so lively in that place because things are moving, and there's, like, thing hanging from the ceiling and explosions going off, and dinosaurs like look super real walking through, the babies are crying. It's crazy, and the dinosaurs are biting people, and it was crazy, knocking things off people, with their tail. It was crazy. But God, where was I going with that story? We're there. And where we sitting, the bar, it's a bar in there too. Like, and it's there, it's lit up. It looks like the Flintstones or something. And there's all this liquor there. And I'm sitting there, and I remember I looked over, and I was like, wow, it's a bar there. And I'm like, okay, I'm chilling. I'm like, and I looked twice. Then I looked back, and I was like, man, I hate I did that. And my daughter, she's just talking and wowing and just running her mouth. And I'm thinking, I hate that I looked twice at that bar. Because if somebody's watching me, which I know everybody is, because, it's Myrtle Beach, and I'm the only black dude with the, here, and we're sitting in the entrance. I'm facing the door, and I'm, she's facing everything that's going on, and there's a couple behind us too. And me and my daughter just talking, and I'm thinking, I hope nobody thinks that I drink, because I looked at the bar twice. So the lady came over and asked if we want some drinks. Of course, we had like lemonade, and she had like a big milkshake. It was amazing. And I was sitting there. I was like, man, I really thought about it. I was like, this is the first time I went to like a bar area and saw a bar and thought about, like, I didn't think about drinking. I was just like, Is that, do I have like a blinder on now since I don't drink to play going in that place and seeing a bar there was strange to me. That's what it felt like. Like, why is there a bar in here? Because it's such a kiddie place. But at night, it probably turns up. I don't know, because we were there for lunch. And it's a big parking lot. And it takes the whole building up. They have a gift shop and everything. And it goes really deep. We were in the beginning of the place. And I was amazed that it was so much floor space that when I took pictures of her with like things, it looked like she was in there alone. And it was awesome like that because I can get the whole, and it would be like, it was no bad shot. But they were smart enough to put the bar way over there. So in people's, when they take pictures of all this stuff, there's not a bar in the background. And if it is, it's in the distance because nobody's going to take pictures from over there. I was thinking about that. I was like, I don't even have to get up. So I was sitting there just taking pictures of different parts. And everyone would have like like they had dragons in there and they were really, really, really nice looking, But going in there, I saw that, and I was doing that reflection again. I was like, man, like, how disgusting would it feel to have a drink at lunch and then go the rest of the day with that churning in your system and coming out of you? And I hate feeling slightly tipsy. I like having one or two drinks. I used to hate that. It gives you GERD for no reason and all that. And there's just so many benefits to that. People wonder what the secret to like effortless weight loss is. To just stop drinking alcohol and sugary drinks. I like really, really sugary drinks. Like I put Truvia in everything, stevia. And that's like one of those non-caloric. And that works. There's no conspiracy about it. Like if you're diabetic, you could drink it and it won't make your blood sugar spike. That's the proof, So I drink stevia and stuff like that, and artificial sweeteners. I don't drink sweet and low or anything like that. Aspartame or whatever they call it. I can never say it right, but just cutting that out, and it clears your mind. It makes you, things become effortless. Like I realize now how easy it is to navigate in this world if you have basic common sense nowadays. Because there's a market for suckers, but if you really, it makes people who are actually driven and stuff a little bit more valuable now that we can easily weed out the dumbasses. And one big way that people need to take into account is Trump supporters. Those people are those people you need to avoid, to weed out. Those, when you find out that, if they ever were, really, it's going to hurt your feelings to understand that it might be in your family, your friends, really, people who ever considered that. I'm not saying people are dangerous or crazy. They're dumb. They're dumb like you don't understand. And I'm not talking about like can't do basic things like tie their shoes and eat every day. I'm talking about like you could be smart and be playing dumb and that make you dumb. Not because underneath it all you're a smart person and you can, be an engineer or something. No, you still could be a dummy. Dumb. Make dumb decisions, easily swayed, dismissive, apathetic, cynical. Those people, those are the dumb people. I have people who I work with degrees, master's degrees, highly trained, very effective counselors. Trump supporters. Yeah. Talk to them for over 5 minutes. You'll see. Be around them a little bit and see how they navigate their life. Find out if they wash. There's people out here that ain't always like you. And once you start to see and you can clear all that, the alcohol and all that stuff from out of you, you can see people for who they are. And there's so many good people out there. Like those people I met on the beach. They automatically see you. They automatically making a step. These people had a connection with me. Like the second time when I came to the beach, I was sitting there on the beach, and like you understand, when I came out at first, what happened was like we came out there, we put my daughter's blanket out. She ran out there. I went out there with her to the break. I came back and I sat on there and I just crossed my legs and I, shirt off, just out there in my trunks, looking like a freaking Poseidon, the Greek god. And I sat there and I meditated for several minutes. Just sat there and crossed my legs, closed my eyes, and just took the pose and just breathed in deeply, super deeply, for about 10, 15 minutes or so. Just listen to the waves crash. Just did that for a little bit. Nobody bothered me. I was just, my daughter was fine. I had a moment of peace. I had 10 minutes of peace and just sat there and just listened to the waves crash. No electronics, no nothing. Just hearing just birds, the kids playing, just in the midst, in all that chaos, just and the waves crashing. It was just, you could feel the mist. It was awesome. I was just, boom, really at peace. Like knowing how my daughter was feeling, having a great time, and that woman, what was her name? I don't remember. It was this white lady. She just said, "Hey, mister, hey." And I looked, she broke me out of it. I looked at, it was this white lady that was Aurora's mom. She was like, "Hey, I think our daughters found each other." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I broke out of it. I just, kind of just still was in my pose, just sitting there talking to her, had my eyes open. And she said, she was super close to me. Like, it was like she was sitting there, like, and it was, I realized at this moment, she's not afraid of me. And I'm talking to her, and she was like, "Yeah, we're sitting over there, blah, blah, blah. It was cool this morning. She woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning. She's been talking about your daughter because she met her last night." And I'm just like, "Oh man, that's crazy." Like, I'm glad that they're locked in. And she had this genuine conversation with me just in this chaos. And then her husband didn't run over there and see what's going on. He was just out there chilling. Like, I looked over, I waved at him, he waved at me, and he was talking to some family. And then they came over, and then we just started having our beach experience. We just started running to the waves and talking to the kids, and they were doing their thing. I was really doing mine, and I was going in and out and setting shots up and talking to other little people that were trying to get me in their shots. And I'm like, letting people know, like, this is me and my daughter. It's us in this chaos. It's all I can worry about. This girl asked me to save her friend. I'm like, no. Like, I told her, I said, "I'm not going to drown. What are you doing? What are you talking about?" So, came back, and I've been reflecting on that whole experience because, of course, it's so much. I can't just sit around and make videos about it. It'd be boring. But I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna write about that experience and somehow include it in everything that I'm doing, because I always ask myself, what will I be doing in a year from now on my birthday? I always think, like, oh, I'm 47. Where will I be when I'm 48? And I exceeded my expectation, because what happened mid-year had been something I've been working on for 20 years. It was a long-term goal. It took 19 years, and I got to the status that I wanted to cement and really catapult my ultimate goal. And that was just, my ultimate goal was just to get the doctorate and just to get that doctor title and the privileges of that. But now I'm even thinking beyond it now, because I always want to use it to work in an organization and improve it. But now, always having those grandiose ideas, I want to just own it, to cut all the BS out. I done been through the BS. I know the BS in the professional world, especially as a black scientist, as a black, scientist, black author, black theologian, black atheist, black, what I'm saying? Like, all that, like, black visionary, black revolutionary, like, black history scholar, black, what I'm saying, black religion, critic. Christian author, you know what I'm saying? Atheist Christian author, you know what I'm saying? Dissertation, research assistant. Like, that's something that me and my mom talked about last night. As I told her about the trip and everything. You know, she saw all the photos, she saw all the videos, so she know what we really did. You know what I'm saying? Like she seen everything. Going, my mom, I was telling her about my plans and everything, because she really understand like this doctorate process, because she been through it, so we just talking about that, and she giving me counsel. So she was like, I was telling her about parts of my dissertation that's pulled from my current professional, status at this place that I work for. And I told her I had like really intimate conversations with lots of people in my organization. I just put it that way. And it's taught me a lot of lessons. So I'm talking to my mom about some of these things that, she experiences in her work. And she said, I bet people think you uppity. And I sat a long pause. I was like, I don't really care. And that was it. We moved on to whatever else we were talking about. We didn't laugh about it. It was a moment, and that's that's something that you can't fake about certain parts of professionalism when it comes to black people. This unspoken thing, like Ketanji Brown Jackson does when they talk to her. She speaks in ways that imply things, but aren't accusations. And that, on a certain level of black professionalism, that becomes something that can't be discussed with anybody outside of it. Not even the white power structure, because it would alert them and make them work against it. That's what Malcolm be talking about. That's what Dr. Clark talks about. That's what Claude Anderson talks about. You know what I'm saying? Powernomics. The third level, I think, is politicians, because you already get the police department, and then you get the schools. But you ascend to the political level, and then that becomes part of your game plan. And I think the secret to getting into that, especially people on the cusp of figuring things out and getting more established, is to understand that mindset. And I don't want to start sounding like those self-help, fake gurus online, but there, you can pull a little bit from everything. And I think that's the way I read is scattered. Like, I avoid telling people that I read a lot because I don't want them to embarrass themselves sometimes. It happens almost every time. Not with us, with them. When a white person understands that I read a lot and I read a lot and I'm aware of a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like, they always try to tell me what they've read. And it's never anything I've heard about. But it makes them look like they're smarter because they mention something that I've never read. But it's something like the 7 blah, blah, blahs or blah, blah, blah. Or the secret prophecy, or those, you know what I'm saying? And the ones that are household items in their garbage bookshelves. I've curated people's libraries in their homes, and my own, and my mother's, and got rid of stuff that's picked up, like the purpose-driven life stuff. You don't need that. You don't need 10 Bibles. you need the right books. And you know what and this is something you got to learn how to be like, especially with people who think they know books because they read everything. Harlequin novels, they read all the trash. No, I ain't gonna read a bunch of trash. I'm gonna read the right books. I always tell them this, and it always has it rings to them. I say, you know, one of the tactics that book marketers use, and they say it works more than anything to sell lots of books to create bestsellers, is to put a number in the title. The 7 something of something, the 6 whatever, you know, or the title will be like something about something slightly biblical. But then when you get into it, it's 11 steps to this, 10 steps to this, 12 steps to this. That's the way you numbers quantify. It gives them something to do, and it doesn't seem like an amorphous thing where it could become anything. Like true spirituality is. Like what Bruce said about water becoming what the vessel makes it, and how you pour into it, and how much you pour into it. That's it. That abstraction. Not, I got to do 12 things, I'm good. Like what most religious dogma tells you, like what a Bible tells you, what the Torah tells you, what the Quran will tell you. Boom, everything's encased in this. Look, this. That's all you got to do. That's addicted to people. You know what I'm saying? They have to, I can figure that puzzle out and I'll be good. Nah, it's better to remain amorphous, be like the water, you know. But that's, I always, when they talk about their books and stuff, you know, I let them know. I mean, when it happens accidentally, I let them know. They tell me about this book I don't know, and it's not going to stop there. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I haven't heard that book. Maybe I'll read that. You know, I'll look that up. You know, And I'm like, but right now I'm reading, you know, The Decline of the West. You know, Oscar Spengler, right? Have you read that? Oh, no. And he doesn't know that book, how heavy that book is, but the title suggests more than the 7 blah, blah, blahs or blah, blah, blah. I had a person come into my office one time and talk to me about books. And I gave them one that I wrote, and I showed them 5 or 6 more on my desk at that moment that I was reading currently. And that kind of shut down that talk about how The Secret is such a profound book, you know. And please don't bring up the Bible. But anyway, that's just my 48 year, I guess, report. You know, the biggest thing in my life is my daughter now in there snoring like a grown man. Lord have mercy. And she messed my kitchen up too. She don't understand. She cleaning my whole kitchen. I come down there, the easy bake oven looked like it exploded. It's crazy in here, man. Whew, man, this daddy life, man. I'm telling you, trying to keep my kitchen clean is crazy. And her and that dog in there. But anyway, this is, you know, I'm thinking now, using the next couple of days to wonder and set goals for what I want, where I want to be in 1 year, at year 49 and 50. Then, like, just look past it. Like, will I have KLPC Art Institute or Art and Health Institute be a thing in 1 year? How much closer to that goal will I be, if that's even still my goal? So we'll see. In February, that's the prospective date right there where I will be conferred, and it's gonna be on even before that if it's gonna really pop off, because I want to hit the ground running and you know, continue to do what I'm doing currently and make that better. You know what I'm saying? Like, make that maximize my productivity. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is now. Like, with a lot of the government subsidies and stuff falling out of certain industries and organizations and stuff like that, I mean, it's not. We can't even just start wagging our finger at people now. We gotta start building, or already be in the process of building. Understand, we gotta have multiple streams of income. Understand, we gotta have multiple connections. Understand, we gotta have a plan B, a plan C. Like this weekend helped me to exercise that. It was like boom, went down there, invested a lot of time, 4 hours to Charleston. Really was like, we about to get on there. We ready to go. We ready to be in Ramstein in 10 hours. We're going to be in Germany in 10 hours. We were supposed to be. Had every document we needed, everything. Got there, mission canceled. Bam. Like, what? And see what I'm saying? Mission, we were going to be on C-17. I'm talking about military plane. Like, we ain't about to go. Like, we about to be on a military plane. She about to see and have that experience. She got to go out there, see the flight lines. She understood it was real when we walked through the gate. Like, we could have rolled through the gate and gave them our stuff and gone, because I had my special ID. And, but I was like, nah, I'm going to give her experience. So we pulled into the intake center. You know what I'm saying? It's like small. It's like a little shack, basically. You know, enough for like 3 people to stand in. If you've ever been to a base, you know. But there's guards there, like, strapped up. You know what I'm saying? M16, sidearm, vest, you know what I'm saying, BDUs, you know, they had on their deserts for some reason. I don't know why they had on their deserts. They're probably about to go somewhere. But when we got out the car, they approach you. They don't let you just walk. Most times they working the gate, they going to approach you. Like, what you walking up? You know what I'm saying? I'm civilian too. So I'm there with my daughter. And my daughter knowing it's serious, because it's like, you can see the planes going over, you can hear things, and she ain't never been to a base. So we go up there, I'm like, hey, I walk up, I'm like, hey, how you doing? And I get my ID. I said, I'm Sergeant Coble, and my daughter's watching me talk to this female. She like 6 foot. She got she's special forces, because she had a beret on. She had sorry, not special forces. She a cop. I forgot what they call them. What they? I don't know. She a cop, but she guarding the gate. So God, what do they call them? I can't even think now. But she walk up. And she's like, yeah. I reach out, give her my ID card. She go, all right, I'm Sergeant Coble. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to register. We got to register, or we just go in with this ID. And she was like, oh, no, yeah. This is a, you know, she told me my ID type. And she's like, yeah, you just come through the gate. You can have that or whatever. But you can register if you want to go something. It was something. I was like, nah, we just trying to catch a flight going to Ramstein. Where's the flight line? And she was like, oh, it's up here. Take a right and everything. And you have to go around this curve. And she was telling me all these directions. And my daughter just sitting here, like, listening to this woman who was my size, standing there strapped up, armed to the teeth, just telling me what's up. I'm saying, yes, sir. She's saying, calling me sir and all this other stuff. And I'm talking to her, telling her, you know, what's the color of the building and the landmark and where's the wing at, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, oh, right here, blah, blah, blah. And she told me. So we got in the car. She was like, all right, you know, have a good day. And I told her, you know, okay, you too. We got in the car, went through the little line. We got to go through like the zigzag and, you know, the tactical approach. So I had to do that. Get to the gate, talk to the other guard, and he's strapped up and all big ass. You know, he's not like swole like this, but he's like a soldier. You know what I'm saying? He got his little beret on, and my daughter's just all up in his face, like he's telling us what to do, but he's strapped up. And he got an M16 on too. So she's like, oh my God, and she's hearing things and seeing planes fly over. And we go back through the tactical thing, and then we go up, and then everything gets calm. And then she sees all these planes, and she can see the flight line and the planes and the ones that are like the vintage ones on different different podiums, and the Warthog. I was like, oh baby, that's my favorite plane of all time, the Warthog. And she's like, oh my God, it's an A-10, and she was really fascinated. She thought it was so cool. And then we go like to these buildings, and she sees all these like female soldiers just walking around talking to people, doing whatever. And we would go into buildings, and we would wait and talk around with soldiers who were like really soldier-like. They were being very respectful, super respectful, and it was just cool. You know what I'm saying? And it was an experience for her. And we get up there, and this is Asian girl who's like, she looks like a freaking MMA fighter, because my daughter respects like people who look different than her because she watches MMA. And people think that's kind of brutal, but she watches girls whoop, and she don't just see in public when little loud ratchet girls be getting their way, so she think that they can fight. No, she watches girls who really fight, and that's what she wants to do as part of her professional. She want to be a veterinarian and do some MMA and some gymnastics. But the girl, I thought of that. I was like, my daughter sees this girl telling me that the flight is canceled, so we came all this way, and she ruined our plans. But she looks at her, and she looks like those girls she sees fighting. She looked like the Hottie Masterson, the Karate Hottie. I can't remember her first name, but she saw her, and I remember she looked like her. And I thought that I'm like, well, my daughter probably thinks she looks like her too. You know what I'm saying? Masterson, her name is Masterson. But it was just a crazy experience, and instead of being defeated right then, I was like, we got to go back because I'm not going to stay and wait for the flight because they told us that we just couldn't. That flight, that those missions were gone, so it messed up our passport plans. So I'm like, all right, cool. We're not going to be able to go to Paris in Germany, but there's other options. So I just looked up, say, okay, where could we go? Bam, Myrtle Beach on the way. Let's go there. On the way, got a hotel, and made it there. Yeah, got on the beach, and had time of our life. You know, really didn't let that. It taught us something, and we ended up having a less stressful time, and creating some memories and making some friends. Those people, when we came on that beach, they immediately was like, those are the kind of people that we want to hang out with this weekend. And because before we left, he was like, "Hey man, let me get you my number so we can meet up later." I'm like, oh, "Okay, cool. You want to hang?" Like I was like, "Thank you." Instead of just leaving and hoping to see him again, he was just like, "Boom, my wife likes you, our daughter likes you. What's up?" Like we met there, we met at the carnival. Like he still was like, "Yo man, where y'all going after this?" Like I was like, "We got to go home. It's 11 o'clock." You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't staying up all night. We leaving in the morning. He was like, "What time you gonna be on the beach tomorrow?" And I was like, "I don't know, maybe like 8, 9. Maybe we're gonna get up and come." And then we slept in. So I just hit him out like, "Man, sorry, man, we ain't gonna go. We just gonna get up and ride." You know what I'm saying? It was great meeting y'all. I got your number, and we're on Facebook. So let's maybe do it again. Y'all in Kentucky is closer. He sent me some pictures, and that was it. You know, but great, met great people, and I didn't let that minor setback, you know, change anything. We had a better time that way. And it ain't over because I'm really off this week. I mean, I guess I'm on semi-vacation. But I'm going to wake this little girl up. Oh, we're going to get a saltwater tank for her. Those people that we met, Brandon and his family, they gave her a bucket full of these little sea crabs that they collected. They had like 50 of them, and they were all living and everything, and they're in their little shells, and they're all in different little shells because they're not hermit crabs, but they do use smaller shells from other animals, and she got like 10 of them. So we're gonna go and build and maintain and see how long we can keep them alive, and maybe just have like a critter tank of not fish, but just some kind of creature on the bottom that can live with other creatures from salt water. Maybe we'll find something, maybe we won't. But that's the mission for today. That's the new project that we're going to work on today. And this week I ain't really got much doctorate work. I'm so far. I got a new class I'm starting, and I'm kind of far ahead of it because I forgot that it was so intense. That last paper I had to write, it was so intense that I forgot that this is the beginning of a new class and ain't much to do. But I'm gonna prepare because my mind is always trying to get things done so I can chill. That's what I'm about to do. About to keep it fly and try to plot the next move, you know, because when I turn 49, I want KLPC Art Health Institute be a thing. And that's not to say I'm going to, you know, change my status in my current role. I plan to maintain that. But with this, it's a force multiplier. It's an enhancer. You know what I'm saying? But this expansion project is going to pop off anyway because the reference lab is really where it's at. But hope to change some lives, write a little more, and have some fun this week. Probably gonna hit the pool tomorrow and go visit, or have my parents visit, because I was talking to my mom yesterday. I think they want to come up here, and we're gonna maybe go do something. I was thinking about going to Carowinds. I think it'd be cool to go to like something local that ain't gonna fill me with sand, because it's been sand falling out of everything for the last couple hours. I can't keep finding sand everywhere. Grit, man, it's everywhere. But anyway, I'm out. About to get some breakfast somewhere and have another cup of coffee, because this is cold. Peace. I love you guys. Go out there and love each other, and beware, because the creepy crawlies is out there. You know, voting our way into World War III. But we'll talk about that later. Love y'all.